Sunday morning and it's just stopped raining. I'm out with the dogs, and I'm just thinking about next week actually, because on Tuesday of next week I'm supposed to do a research seminar at the college where I work at Dartington in the UK. So I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do for that. And what I want to do is talk a little bit about these videos, since they seem to form a kind of backbone of what I've been thinking about for the past couple of years. So I'll talk about the making of these videos for a bit, I think, and how it started. And then I might go on to talk about what I do with these videos when they're made, which I didn't really anticipate doing anything with actually, but the fact that I have, I guess, is quite important, so I should talk about that. Maybe a little bit about the things that I tend to talk about in these videos, because what I tend to talk about is what do I tend to talk about? Well, I suppose I talk about poetics quite a lot of times, and metaphor, and I talk about knowledge quite a bit. I find myself talking about what I mean by knowledge quite a lot, what metaphors I use to understand knowledge a bit better. I think I rely quite a bit on conceptual metaphor theory and embodied cognition, those kind of ideas, to frame my understanding of what I mean by the term knowledge. And I guess, in a sense, that's part of a larger project in which I'm trying to understand for myself how making artworks or having ideas of different sorts, learning skills, how all these things constitute knowledge, but in different ways. So I suppose in some way I'm trying to understand what a taxonomy of different forms of knowledge might look like. How things like objective knowledge relates to subjective knowledge, and how those two terms relate to, I don't know, occult knowledge or carnal knowledge or situated knowledge, all the other terms for that. And I'm trying to get a kind of big picture of all those different knowledge forms so that I can feel reasonably comfortable about locating my own sense of knowing within that shifting taxonomy. So in this seminar I'll probably talk about that. And what will I do? Well, I'll probably show some of the artworks and outcomes, if you like, of work I've been doing in relation to those ideas, and how I've been using these videos particularly, and the kind of ideas generated from these videos. So maybe I'll just show some documentation of the before and after physics exhibition, which included some of these videos. And then I'll maybe show a little bit of the piece I did for Art Transpennine, I don't know what it's called now, first person Rambler piece, which wasn't directly related but was similar enough, I think. So I do that, that'll probably take about 20-25 minutes, something like that, and that'll give me about 15 minutes to rain again. That'll give me about 15 minutes to talk about the ideas really. What I want to do with that bit is talk about, well, what I want to get to with that bit really is talk about walking, I think, because one of the ideas that keeps coming through these videos in terms of what I find myself talking about is relationships between knowledge and space. Other things as well, relationship between knowledge and objects and knowledge and substances as well, but metaphors of space in the construction of an epistemology. And one that's been particularly fruitful, I think, in my thinking in that is the spatial extension, is a horizontal spatial extension. How we use the phenomenal experience of being in space, particularly in a horizontally extended space, as a way of conceptualizing different forms of knowing. So knowledge which is close to us, which we conceptualize as being close to us, is kind of intimate and personal and subjective, and only available to certain senses, particularly the sense of touch and taste. And knowledge which we conceive as being distant is more interpersonally available. It doesn't touch us. We're not able to feel it, and it's available more to a visual sense, so we talk more visually about it. And that's a spatial mapping, conceptual spatial mapping of different knowledge types. So I'd probably talk a little bit about that, particularly in relation to Michael Polanyi's idea of the explicit. If I can, I'll also bring in Perkins' proactive, performative, possessive knowledge, and maybe the data information knowledge hierarchy of this time. With all those three, I think I can demonstrate, map across that spatial relationship. Okay, so if I talk about those three things, that's 15-20 minutes there, I think, right there. It'd be nice to, just going through the railway arch right now, it'd be nice to demonstrate this method, this process really, just so it's completely embodied and out there really. So what I might do actually at the beginning is I might show this video. I'll have a look at it when I come back, and have a look and see what the quality of this video I'm making right now is, and if it's good enough I'll show that as a kind of introduction, in which case, if that's happening, if I haven't been killed on the motorway tomorrow morning when I go down there at 5 o'clock, then what's happening right now is that this video is being shown on a screen here, and I'm sitting down there live, maybe, and yeah, I guess that's what's happening.